and Ninny Poo think they can block the Digimon show with their big fat Digimon blocking heads, do they? Well, not for long. Angela Anaconda, Digi-Evolve to Angelamon! Now look who's here! Ninimon and her Brixie monster robot come to block our view of the entire world. Prepare for battle, you pathetic Pukemons! But first, let's make some concessions. After all, refills are free, right, Shinamon? Help me, Angelamon, more powerful.
I'm disgusted. Even more so than I was for the past 90 minutes. Was she like throwing up diarrhea at the monster?
She was. They were selling diarrhea at concession stands.
As we have established, Digimon do indeed poop.
It was diet diarrhea, right?
It was diet diarrhea.
It was diarrhea.
Yes. Diet. Which is, it's
hey,
basically
diarrhea, hey!
All right. Hey, everyone, welcome to Random Movie Roulette, my revenge episode. We're here with Digimon the Movie. Also, shout out to Mark, who is in the chat right now, actually. Hi, Mark. He made this wonderful poster that we have here with my
well, not the whole poster.
Post.
He didn't make all
no,
of
he
the
made it. This was him. He was the original artist of this poster, and then he came back and improved upon his work by including a quote from me in it. Hey, Amorosa, how's it going? All right.
Oh, I know he's thrilled that we're hearing about Digimon. But Lewis, aren't you thrilled that your name is now on a piece of marketing material for a Digimon product?
I knew it would happen eventually. Didn't quite think this would be it. I didn't think I would be ever quoted saying, "Eat a dick, I hate you both, I'll see you all in hell."
I think were you quoting me
At least not in a row.
Were you quoting me like after having seen this movie?
I mean, yeah,
basically.
Talk about... Mike at least gave us B-movie. There was a little joy to be suckled from that tea, but this was just...
This was, like you said, this
was cruelty at its finest.
No. This was not supposed to be generous in any way. This was a selfish, mean thing I did, and I feel great about it. I feel absolutely no fucking guilt. I made you watch Digimon the Movie, and I fucking loved it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the star of Cruella.
This is what Digimon turns her into a dog hating. Yeah, you know what? Let's just roll the trailer. Let's roll the trailer for Digimon the Movie. I don't approve this preview for anyone. It's not good. It's not worth it.
The movie event you've been waiting for is coming to theaters this fall.
All right!
Digimon the Movie. On October 6th.
Ty, what's happening?
A digivirus will infect the internet.
Diaboromon?
And wage the ultimate battle.
You'll never stop me.
Fox Kids presents...
Does this information superhighway ever rest up? I've gotta go potty! Just hold it!
An adventure too big for television.
Watch out!
Where a new team of Digidestined will unite.
It's all up to you, Digidestined.
With stronger, more powerful Digivolutions.
The Digimon are combining as one! They're Digi-evolving together!
To face their greatest challenge yet.
Together we'll squash that bug! Go get him!
Take a journey so extreme, it can only be experienced on the big screen.
He's Digi-evolving too fast!
Hurry, we're running out of time!
7.
Come on!
6. 5. 4.
They're multiplying!
3. 2. 1.
Awesome!
More juice, Izzy? I just squeezed some onions.
Digimon the Movie. Coming to...
All right. So, a question I have for you guys and a question I have for chat as well. What is your relationship with Digimon? I know it was not particularly popular in America, not the way Pokemon was. So, what did you know about this going in?
I mean, I think I actually recognized that trailer from VHSs for, like, Power Rangers when I was little and stuff. So, there you go. Fox Kids synergy and Japanese shows coming to America. But Other than that, you know, maybe I saw 1 or 2 Digimon reruns on like JetX or something like before school when I was a kid, but it never really tracked for me because it had like a more of a linear story than Pokemon, which was just like solve your problem of the week and do it, you know, like any other cartoon, like with these same characters and their same villains, and you know.
Yeah, right. You it was harder to just jump in.
Yeah.
And do it. Yeah, but I always found it to be kind of engrossing, the plot, but I guess it depended on if you caught that train early on, because maybe it was hard watching those reruns at some point. What about you, Mike?
What about me? That was a loaded question. Yeah, there's a reason why you picked this for me, because I thought that after I turned 15, I thought that, oh, I've never seen Digimon, and that's never a train that I'll ever have to go down ever in my life at this point. Little did I know what my life would become in 20 years.
Terrible.
But
just awful.
But yeah, no. So yeah, when I was a kid, watching this with you guys right now, I got the same feeling that I got when I was like a little kid and like I was over at a friend's house and they were watching Digimon or Pokemon or one of those or Code Lyoko or Power Rangers or something. And I would be like, I'm just sitting there waiting for like the next show to come on that I know.
Lyoko, from what I remember, and I don't remember very much, I remember that being kind of good. Like I remember there was like a fan base around it, and like
I don't care. As a kid, I saw anime and I was like I ran for the hills.
Get out of here,
because
baby.
I thought it was all of it. I thought it was all bullshit like this. I thought it was all like Digimon, Pokemon, all the shit that I as a child could not have any grasp on whatsoever. I did not get these cards. I didn't play the games. I didn't watch these shows. And whenever kids around me at the same age were into that shit, I felt like I was like on an alien planet.
Yeah, I mean, by the time the Toonami robot guy came on was the time for me to switch the channel.
Yeah, the only time that I honestly, like, the only time I ever watched Toonami, I think it was like, I don't know, around like sometime in like, it wasn't like late at night, but like they had like Ninja Turtles on, and I would want to watch Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
and that's how I get Code Lyoko. That's how I have that memory stored in my, because that was the show that always came on before Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was just like, all right, I gotta watch the last 5 minutes of this, and then I get to watch Ninja Turtles.
I remember maybe I watched Toonami for like they showed Batman 89 or something on it, but it's like I'd have to also watch through commercials for like Trigun and shit that I didn't understand, and Samurai Jack,
some real high concept shit.
Yeah, you know.
No, yeah, but I also feel like I'm glad at least now I've like, you know, ventured out and sought out more anime that's more, you know, adult minded, more, you know, stylistically, artistically interesting, and it's not just like I'll collect all these toys and make them and then they all fight, because that's honestly that's what I thought all of anime was, and that's why I thought it was bad. And then I you know, I had to actually like discover for myself, like, you know, actual art from this genre or style of animation. I don't know if it's a genre. I don't think it's
so okay. Were you then, and I think I know the answer in your case, Mike, but Jack, were you then like a bigger Pokemon fan, or did the Mon craze just never hit you?
It never hit me like crazy. If Pokemon got me, it was because of the video games for Game Boy, really. And you know, like I kind of knew the cartoon like up to the point that like May and Max were on. I forget what that was. Like whenever the games were at like Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. And then after that, I kind of jumped off, and by then the Mon stuff was kind of done for me. But yeah, I mean, Pokemon, you know, this came out in 2000. I was born in 96. I was 4 when this came out. So, you know, of course
you were psyched. Yeah. Of course you were getting ready. You dressed up as Jackamon and you went to the theater.
Yeah.
Just like Angela Anaconda did in that opening scene. I think we need to talk more about Angela Anaconda.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, cutting short, yes, I was a Pokemon kid. Because obviously that was the successful one.
I mean, if I could just give my 2 cents. Yeah, I didn't care about either. I've had more.
I was having sex.
The sad part is that I wasn't. So it's not like, oh, I was too cool for Digimon and Pokemon.
It's not a sad thing that you weren't having sex at like 6 years old. I think.
No, but it's also like at now. So. But you know, Pokemon. I've had at least a little bit more of like, you know, of an interaction with, because there was Pokemon Go, which was a big craze, and then
Was.
Pikachu, the Detective Pikachu movie. So I've had at least I understand a little bit more, and they're also in Smash. So it's like I have a little bit more of a grasp on
like a
how
cursory
those
knowledge, like a cultural knowledge.
I don't
that
like
a lot
those
of people-
games though. I think they're really repetitive, and I think that like I can't every time
Yeah.
I walk somewhere and then it's like, oh no, someone else appeared. You got to fight them
Yeah,
again.
by the
Ugh.
time you're fighting the 30th Pidgeotto in 10 minutes, you're kind of...
Yeah. No, they're definitely not for everyone. I mean, it's the grinding of a JRPG, and it's not, sadly, not unique to Pokemon. It's just level grinding. I think in any game is a fucking nightmare, especially when it has random encounters. Kind of neither here nor there. So I'm obviously really into Digimon. I always kind of have been. I always a little bit preferred it when I was a kid to Pokemon, though I still also really like that. I liked this movie a lot as a kid. I watched it again about a year or so ago, and I thought it was like fun nostalgia, but like a dog shit movie, and that's why I wanted to give it to these two assholes. And so I have. And are you mad at me?
Because there's that's
my next question.
I got it.
Are you
I do
mad
have
at
to
me?
say though, if there's one thing that has defined this show, it is shitty nostalgic movies that were fun as a kid, but now it's like, oh, these are a piece of shit. But we could like still watch them in like, you know, at least that little bit of that connection where it's like, oh well, I watched this as a kid. And I like this. I hadn't. Here's the thing. I will say this. I did not hate it as much as I thought I would. I was not as inconsolably angry or that I was when I got assigned to this, because the way that you were pitching it to us, and because of my limited knowledge of the series, I thought that I would literally just be watching this whole movie and it would just be like gleep glop, like no nonsense.
I mean,
with
it is
is
a little bit
but
that the whole time.
Well,
and
yeah.
it's a lot of that.
But
at
it's
the
nice to know that it's
end.
also gleep glop nonsense to Digimon fans and
Yeah.
not just
So,
outsiders.
Because I knew that we were going to be talking over it, and I thought I was
Right.
like, oh, I'm not going to know what's going on, but I think they're like, oh, is that going to be our fault, or would I know what's going on
It's
if I
all
paid attention?
just fights and transformations and no plot.
And I should mention we did record a commentary track for patrons that's going to be going up a little bit later, so keep your eyes out for that. It was a pretty fun one, I think. But yeah, so that also probably colors your opinion, because we were talking through it, we were being entertaining, and you also don't know anything about it, and this doesn't really give you much of the background information you would need. We'll get
Even though
into
you did your
why-
damndest.
I really tried, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
and I do try during. If you have any hope of understanding it, it's watching it with that commentary. So I try to break it down as best as I can, but it doesn't really make sense. I'll get into why it doesn't make sense in a bit. But yes, Mike, you're right. We have to talk about that opening clip.
Which was not attached to the actual movie when we sat down to watch it,
No.
so it's not part of the commentary, the Angela Mon short, which I was solely disappointed by.
I thought I had it, but I didn't.
Even 30 minutes into it, I'm still like, we should be watching Angela Mon right now. And then you're like, I'm sorry, we don't have it. Which also I have to bring up that probably Angela Mon is probably the only bit of familiarity that I had of this movie before
Right.
seeing it. And not only that, but the rich and storied history of the Angela Mon short, which has now kind of famously been memorialized as the reason why a certain family of a Redditor got divorced, and I will read that right now to you. So this Reddit user writes, this is a green text story. He writes, "Didn't know at the time that parents' relationship was rocky. I beg to see Digimon movie. Parents agree, but I don't realize it's for them to spend some time together as well. Get to theater and excited about Digimon flick. Can even afford popcorn and drinks. Parents look happy. Angela Anaconda short comes on. Parents also don't speak very good English. My little boy mind can't comprehend all the fuck going on. Parents are utterly confused by this Canadian fuck running around in a Digimon suit. I start crying and they pull me out of the theater. Mom and dad start blaming each other for going to the wrong movie. Dad throws away the popcorn mom wanted. Lots of arguing and I'm still crying. Get out to parking lot and drive off in a rush. Get into accident in parking lot. Dad moves out a month later. Fucking bitch of a whore Angela Anaconda ruined my life."
Oh,
Which
God.
also, not only is this movie a mean thing to do, but the Angela Anaconda short at the beginning just shoving that
Yeah,
horrendous creature in front of your face, in front of an unsuspecting audience's viewing eyeballs, that is a mean thing to do to a paying audience.
The very existence of Angela Anaconda makes like Ren and Stimpy look like fucking Care Bears.
I mean, it's really unpleasant. It has, I think, gained some sort of popularity with like hipster kids and
but
Twitter.
every fucking cursed show from the 90s and 2000s does.
Yeah,
it's pretty disturbing. And I wouldn't recommend it. And it's an awful way. It doesn't have anything to do with this. It shows that I don't think they knew what Digimon was when they made it, because like what happens in it, like the things that are supposed to be referenced, they don't make any sense. And like she turns into Digimon, but she's just wearing a costume to look like the main character.
Like all the kids are just wearing costumes to look like characters from Digimon
who aren't Digimon, and then calling themselves It's really like misguided.
It's like
and,
confusing Power Rangers and like what's the other one? Ultraman.
You know, it would be like if she turned into Ash and she's like, I am Pokemon now. It's like your parents like, oh, that's Pokemon.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It's
and then also like
Digiman.
some Dragon Ball Z was mixed in there, which is bizarre. It's not a great way to introduce a movie. It's not like the fun like Pixar short films you get before a Pixar movie. It is just unpleasant, and it's a commercial essentially for kind of the whole Fox, kids networking block. That's really all this movie is.
I do gotta say, after watching that, I can't wait to see more of these fucking paper cutout, like gray, disgusting, doll eye, lifeless beings wander around and babble and like shriek in their high voices. And the show is nightmare fuel on top of like a bad road acid trip. Like,
oh god, yeah. So to explain why none of it makes sense, the briefest way I can, it's 3 different movies.
We are talking about the Digimon movie now and not Angela Anaconda, for anyone who
we
lost
know
track.
why Angela
with that,
Anaconda
it's now
is
4 movies. So
terrible.
Yeah.
It's like a metataxtual, like it's a movie inside of a movie. Like it's one of those things.
That's true. Angela Anaconda is a framing device. So it's 3 separate Japanese Digimon movies that don't really have anything to do with each other, that they edit together, and then they have like one of the characters doing a like really weird voiceover to kind of link them together, and they make up some story stuff as to why the events happen in the sequence that they do. It doesn't explain anything that really happens in the series. It's kind of all new information, which isn't really helpful to anyone. Did you guys feel, if you had to describe the plot of the movie right now, do you think you could do it?
Okay, so I could gather that at least the first segment is about how this little one of the Digimon comes into the real world. It's like this little pink face hugger looking thing that then morphs into a dinosaur. And then there's a big fight that the dinosaur has with another Digimon that comes into the real world. And then you flash forward 4 years later. Now we're in the second act of the movie, the second short film. And it's like those 2 kids grew up, and now they're like fighting war games online, and then like they're sending the nuclear missiles are being shot from the U.S. to Japan, or the other way around, and then the Digimon inside of the internet have to stop the missile, and then they combine to form a more powerful Digimon that can somehow destroy the missiles. And then when the missiles are destroyed, then in the third section, which now takes place in the present day, it's a completely different set of kids who are wandering around in the woods, fucking around, doing nothing. And then they meet up with more Digimon, who then they form into a bigger Digimon, and then they also fight. And
some of them are angels.
And then Smash Mouth plays, and then the movie is over.
Oh, and the evil Digimon dances to Smash Mouth. Judasmon, as we call him.
Samman. Yeah, that's a pretty wild way to end any movie, is by having your villain dance to Smash Mouth.
It's like the inverse of Shrek, where Shrek opens with Smash Mouth. Well, actually, Shrek opens and closes with Smash Mouth, but specifically All-Star. Shrek opens with All-Star, but Digimon has the balls, the cojones, the chutzpah to end the movie with, not only with All-Star by Smash Mouth, but also in the end credits is Kids in America, which... This movie came out in 2000. Did it before Shrek and Jimmy Neutron the movie. It was ahead of the curve on both accounts.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trailblazing revolutionary movie.
To have the most 2000s soundtrack playlist for your movie.
Yeah, man, we're talking Less Than Jake.
And
we're
blend
talking the
3
Bare Naked
separate
Ladies.
movies.
We're talking the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones.
We're talking 2 songs specifically about Digimon. They played in the show a lot. It was always weird then. It was super weird, like in between Less Than Jake and the Mighty Mighty Boss Stones. Okay, so we have you know what? Not yet. We're not going to get to the game quite yet.
Yeah, we need to get through more of it.
We have to talk about what actually happened.
Yeah, so for me, what I had assumed what a movie like this would be, because it's just called Digimon the Movie. So it's not like a lot of these other like anime movies where like a lot of these like anime movies that are attached to TV series, they usually have like, they're usually continuations of the show, or it's like, you know, something that's attached to it, like that Demon Slayer movie that came out recently,
right.
Or like, I don't know, like Dragon Ball Brawly, or like something where it's like, it's some sort of like continuation of like the story that's happening in the show. But for something like this, it's just called Digimon the Movie. I would expect it to be like Pokemon the first movie, or something like that, where it's like meant as a standalone movie that can serve as an entry point for people who are unfamiliar.
Right.
But because this is made up of previous short films, it's basically like the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh as an anime.
Yeah.
But
where
the short films that they used all like bookend series, right? So like the first one is like a prequel to the first series. The second one takes place between the first and the second series, and the third one takes place after the second series.
I mean,
and you get none of the information of
to
what
compare it
happens in between.
to Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is a disservice to the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. This is like if someone had tried to put, and forgive me for using Star Wars as a reference here, but like if someone tried to make a movie out of The Phantom Menace, Return of the Jedi, and then like Last Jedi or something, and like hoped that would be one.
That's a weirdly
thing.
A weirdly perfect analogy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it would be like.
And also because at least Winnie the Pooh, it's like all of the shorts, they're the same characters in the same universe with the same vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it's like, I couldn't keep track because there's two characters in 2 different segments that look exactly the same. They have like, the spiky hair and the goggles. I don't know who that was. I thought he was the main character. I thought he was Digimon. And I thought that, when it's little Digimon in the earlier short, now when he's, a taller, more grown-up looking Digimon, that's clearly the older version of that character. But no, it's not. They're 2 completely different characters. And
this movie does a bananas thing where it switches its entire cast in the third act, because again, different movie. In the first series, you had one group of kids, and then the second series, they did a little bit of a time skip. They were a little bit older. The 2 youngest kids from the first series stuck around and had a new group of friends that went on Digimon adventures with them, and that's who we transitioned to like 30 minutes before the movie's over. And it's really fucking jarring because all of a sudden you're just stuck with these characters you have not met at all. And the movie's also kind of almost over. And what you're about to watch makes the least sense of all. I've watched all of these movies individually. The first 2 I think are actually pretty solid. That last one though, like even with all the context around it, is terrible. Like it's no good. So I think what you get here is like there's cool moments and stuff if you like Digimon, but there is no way in hell that this movie could take someone who is not a Digimon fan and make them interested in Digimon in any way. In fact, it seems to want to do the opposite.
One thing that the movie didn't even explain, like it does try to give like the most exposition for like, this is how Digimon work, and these are the quick backgrounds for each character and whatever, and it doesn't matter.
But they're literally like one sentence.
Right, it's snippets, but they never even attempt to make it clear how Digimon can go between the digital world and the physical world. Like, in the first one, the egg comes out of the digital world, they grow giant, and they fight in the real world and disappear. The second one, Digimon stay in the digital world entirely.
And humans can get sucked into the internet and merge with Digimon?
Yeah, and
like,
then in
Sorry,
the third one...
Hold on 1 second. Mark in the chat.
They're like Pokemon.
Just asked if Digimon are NFTs, and I think it might be.
I feel like, yeah, that might be the dystopian thing that causes the missiles to launch, is like the world's economy, which is now based entirely on Digimon, has crashed, and now
You know, we
and
work
now
on a
GameStop's
Digimon-based
stock
economy.
is so high up that Redditor has crashed the Digimon stock, and
I mean, this movie would have you believe that Digimon control everything. There's one Digimon virus, and all of a sudden, like, the U.S. is trying to nuke Japan again.
This is because our nuclear missiles are attached to dial-up, right?
Yeah. That dial-up is the true villain. And
If you
American
call
American
555,
Online.
you launch a nuke.
Okay, so how did you feel about the transformation sequences? Because there are a lot, and this was they toned it down for the movie.
Yeah.
And the show, it's so much worse. There's 22-minute episodes. Of that, 11 minutes are just transforming.
And look, I've watched Sailor Moon, I've watched Power Rangers, I love a good Japanese show with a transformation sequence. These can be excessive.
no, but also the thing that I didn't understand about the transformations, and the thing that you even said is a little bit wonky, is that they're digi-evolutions. It's like, it's not like Pokemon where it's like the evolutions, it's like there's 3 stages, you just become incrementally bigger and cooler versions of the thing
it's
you
like
are
growing
already.
up. Like, it's a thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
You get bigger and then you stop.
Yeah, in this, it's like the Digimon can evolve into different species and different elements, and like
It's never a straight line. It branches off in a lot of different directions. They always revert back to their third form specifically for some reason, and it has to be triggered. They'll learn to digivolve by like figuring out by character development. Character development is what gets them there. Like they'll solve a problem in their lives. It makes them realize the power of, like, I don't know, courage or some shit, and that will give a Digimon his next form, and it kind of goes on.
But
like
it's
that.
also weird because like during like that second act battle, all of those Digimon are just like mega evolving, like one after the other,
and
like
they're all using objects at that point too. There's like there's an egg with like a horn coming out. There's one that looks like a vibrator with a horn coming out. Like there's they use all these different things that they don't explain in the movie. So if you just see this without any context,
it would be like if a Pichu evolved into like a Charizard, and then that evolved into like a Blastoise, and then that evolved into like a Gyarados. Like, how do you what?
Yeah,
I'm just
no,
like hearing us saying all these words in like rapid succession, and just like remembering like we also covered her at one point on this podcast.
Yeah,
we can all fall in
and
love
man,
with
if
Pichu.
we didn't know how on point, we thought that Spike Jonze really cracked the key to, like, you know, crafting online relationships with AI, but nah, Digimon the Movie really beat him to the punch.
Oh god. All right. So I want to play a game with you guys, and I've been pretty excited about this. I have collected some images of Digimon, and I want you to try and tell me what their names are. Okay? Are we all on board?
Yeah.
Okay.
And chat, please play along with us. Can you see?
Yes.
Can you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also, and especially because like the Digimons, it's usually just what
Digimon.
they are.
What they are.
Mon.
I'm
Yes.
gonna say that this is Maulamon.
I'm gonna
because
say
he
it-
looks like Darth Maul meets.
I'm gonna say Dinomon because they are usually on the nose like that. Like, thing they are, Mon.
All right. Decent guesses. Jordan guessed Bob, and Mark H 1995 guessed American Dragon Jake Long Mon.
Yeah, that really
does look
that
like
does
American
look
Dragon
like that.
Jake Long.
That it does have that color
But
pattern.
Cody actually got it correct. It is Tyrannomon.
Well, see, it's some
Tyrannosaurus
sort of...
or Rex, not Rexamon or...
Yes.
All I heard was a wrong answer from you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So
I am also just thinking, when American... Lewis and I were talking about Danny Phantom earlier. American Dragon Jake Long versus Danny Phantom. Who would win?
Yeah.
Would we care? It would be great.
I would care. Yeah.
But
I'd watch that.
Digimon. Keep going with these guys.
Yeah. Let's see. He was in the movie.
He was in the movie.
A few of these are. I still don't believe you'll know.
Is
their
it
names.
Electromon?
No.
He looks a little electricity based.
Bunamon.
Bunamon. Is that because it looks like a bunny? to
Yeah.
you? All right. We've got the correct answer in the chat. Jordan killing it again. He says Simon. He does look like a Simon. I would buy Simon. But no, Cody got it again. That is...
Is it Sonicmon?
Sorry, Mark says Blue Bunny Ice Cream on. And Cody got it right. It is Vmon. He is the...
Because he
'Cause he
got
has
a
a
V
V.
on him. Oh, of course.
See?
Got it. See, I gotta
little
look out for
things.
these. I gotta look out
Yeah,
for these
yeah.
intricate details about their.
They're like
character.
Orson Welles. They use the whole frame. All right.
Oh my god. Okay. What is that?
What is it?
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
can't-
for audio listeners, let's describe what we're seeing here.
So it's like a
Please.
red fox with like a star lightsaber, like a lightsaber where like the handle is a big star. And he looks like he has a portal gun on the other hand.
Portal gun.
I want to say, is it Staromon because of the star on?
Okay, that's a good one.
Foxamon.
All right, so I don't know why the fox thing is the thing. He doesn't look like a fox. We'll check in the chat here. Jordan says Terry. Mark says Patrick Starmon. And Cody has it correct again. He's killing it right now. That is Shoutmon.
Well, because I assume he knows.
Yes, he's a fan.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We exist. That is in fact.
So what?
Shoutmon.
Shoutmon.
So I
Yep.
guess he shouts.
He does. I think maybe. I didn't watch that series that he
Shout.
was a part of.
Let it all out.
These are the
Fireomon.
things I can
You're
do
thinking
without-
too hard.
Wait, he looks like fire. I said Firemon. That's thinking
That
too hard.
I promise you. Yes.
So it's a big hawk that looks like it's made of fire.
Yes.
Phoenixmon.
There is a Phoenixmon. This is not it.
Yeah, Flamon.
Flamon.
I think that's also one. but no,
Fantastic
not
Four.
It.
Anyone? Talonmon.
Cody got it again. Jordan said Flame On.
Yeah, I said Flamon.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Birdmon.
He's joining you. And Mark
Birdmon or the
says
unexpected virtue of ignorance.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire on. It's Mon. They all end in Mon, Mark. The ending is Mon.
Firemon.
Cody got it right. It is in fact Birdramon.
Birdramon.
Yes.
So like a hydra, like a...
Nope, just bird. It's a bird.
Like instead of Mothra, it's Birdra.
Basically.
Yeah.
Mon. Yeah. Aren't you glad we did this? All right, let's check out the next one.
All right, so this one is
You
like...
will never get it.
Yeah, I
Chickamon.
Yeah, it's a pink...
Reasonable.
Yeah, it's
Checkmon is a reasonable
yeah,
guess.
it's like a pink thing with a beak, and he's got yellow feet that look like Big Bird. I'm gonna say, is this like Cotton Candy Mon?
Pidgeymon.
No. Yeah, Pidgeymon. that's it.
Pinkamon.
Pidgeymon, Cotton Candymon, Mark guessed Betty.
Chickamon.
And Cody got it right. It's Biomon.
Biomon.
Yeah.
So
Or Piomon. I think it's Biomon.
Like
or
a-
I think it's like Biomon in
Like a
Japanese.
beak.
Biomon in English. And Mark said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Betty Mon. Thank you."
Bettymon. Where's Cinnamon?
This one again. Don't think too much.
So he's a big.
Greenmon.
He's a
Don't
big
think too
green
much.
guy.
Goblinmon.
What would you call him?
What would I call him? Goblinmon.
I understand why you're going there. Yeah, Goblinmon would make sense.
Hornmon.
No.
Orcmon.
He does have horns.
Meanmon.
Damn it. All right.
Trollmon.
Mark guessed Tim. Jordan guessed Frank. And again, Cody got it right. Ogremon.
Ogremon. Okay.
Ogremon
Okay.
is an ogre. It's kind of Shrek-like.
He's an ogre.
He's an
How's
ogre.
layers?
Just like Shrek, we listen to Smash Mouth. And
God.
So this one might be a little hard to see.
this
from
one
there.
has to be Judas Mon.
So this one looks a callback to a thing they haven't heard yet. All right, so what you're seeing here, there's a man with a gun on the end of his arm, and he's got devil wings kind of coming out of the back of him.
So is he
blue.
Devilmon?
It's reasonable.
Satanmon?
it looks like
You're on the right track.
Lucifermon?
You're on the come on. Keep going.
Beelzebubmon?
Yeah, close.
Beelzemon?
Yes, nailed it.
really
Got it. Yep, it's Beelzemon. Beelzemon.
I was about to say he looks like Star Fox.
Well, it's not Star Fox, so fuck you. All right.
How many more?
Cody got this one as well. Got it to Cody.
So Shaq is in the lead because he got one right.
Wolfmon?
in the movie, directly behind you.
I
up
know
there.
he is, but he's in the movie for 2 seconds.
In the movie, directly behind you up there.
Dogmon? Wolfmon?
Lupinmon.
Lupinmon?
All right, it's Gabumon. There's no way you're gonna
Gabu?
Gabagoolmon.
get Hey, don't. This one's not that difficult.
That one-
Kittymon?
Is that Meowth? Like,
Yes, essentially. There's
Yeah.
2 names for this one that I would accept.
Catmon?
Kittymon.
Close.
You said Kittymon already, right?
It's not Kittymon.
Philemon?
Nope.
Clawmon?
Nope.
Fuzzymon?
Yeah.
Meowmon?
Nope.
All right, I guess we exhausted all of the cat synonyms.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
Yeah.
It's either Gatomon or Tailmon.
Tailmon.
Tailmon?
Because it has a tail, and gato is cat,
Cat
in
in
Spanish.
Spanish.
Which I would expect from a Japanese cartoon.
Yeah, naturally. All right, let's do a couple more.
Oh, what the fuck is this thing?
Lickamon?
Lickamon balls.
This is one of the poop Digimon
You said that there were Digimon that throw poop.
Scatamon?
that are poop and throw poop. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this looks like a slug with wings. And I don't know what the fuck. Is it Fecismon?
Is it Grossamon?
It is Gold Numamon.
Gold Numamon?
Jordan guessed Acid Tripmon. Yeah, Cody's got it. I mean, well, he guessed that it was an evolved form of Numamon, and yep. Good job. All right.
Golden Numamon.
This one. This is
Golden
probably the most famous
Numamon.
one.
Reptar.
Yeah.
Is it is this
Anguirus.
I was gonna say, is this Cubone?
Cody's got in the chat. It is Greymon.
Greymon. Yeah, he's not gray. See,
is
sometimes.
not.
Oh, okay, is this like?
Walrusmon?
No.
I was about to- is this like? Yeah, is this like Abominable Snowman Mon?
It is Ikakumon. No reason you would know that.
No.
None at all.
Oh God, how many?
This is a
wow, you
brand
really
new
got
one.
a lot for this.
I just pulled some. We're
Just
almost
some.
done.
Voltamon?
I understand what you think, but no, this is a brand new one that launched alongside that fucking Fitbit that I was using for like a week before it became too needy. Mark,
God, they really are just
guesses
Tamagotchis.
Sonic, which yeah, a little bit. So this is Pulsemon,
Pulse.
brand new one, Pulsemon, because he checks your pulse because it comes with a bracelet. See, all right, we're having fun, guys. This little guy turns into Beelzemon from before.
Jestermon?
But wait, can't they just turn into anything? Like
No, they can't just decide what they want to be. He turns into Beelzemon.
Lil Stinkermon?
Is it is this like Devilmon or is
Think
this
smaller than a devil?
Jestermon?
Somewhere between jester and devil.
I don't know, Purgatory.
No, I feel like I got it on the tip of my tongue.
Joker.
Gremlinmon?
Sorry. Mark in the chat says, Jesus, he really has held them hostage. This will be the last one.
Gremlinmon?
Gremlinmon. No, it is Impmon.
Impmon,
Cody again
okay.
got it correct. Thank you guys for
Imps and
indulging
gremlins,
me.
they're similar.
And that one. One more thing that we wanted to talk about tonight. Something that we all also had to watch this week. There's a certain sequel to a certain movie coming out, I think in September.
Only in theaters. We're back to that now.
From acclaimed director of one movie, Andrew Serkis.
Oh, I forgot he directed this. I was expecting Ruben Fuckface to be directing this one again.
I mean, it basically is Ruben Fuckface.
Yeah, we're talking the trailer for Venom Let There Be Carnage. Like, I don't know how you fuck it up that bad just from the title is, like, pretty bad. Okay. The obvious thing to do is Maximum Carnage, which I'm not saying is a great title, but it's not the embarrassing title that is
even
Let
based
There
on
Be
the
Carnage.
freaking storyline of Maximum Carnage.
There's at least an excuse for it.
So use it. If we have to deal with Shriek too, then just use it.
So basically, I remember when we did our mainline episode of of this show on Venom with Brian from Blood Buddies. We were all you guys were having your like comic book nerd speculation of like what's gonna happen in the sequel, like what's the story gonna be, and I just came out with the most correct take. Apparently, is I'm like it's gonna be the same exact movie except that the villain is red, and judging from the trailer, it's exactly what it looks like.
That's fair. Also, I think Jack, we pointed out that it seems like Venom took some fucking improv classes.
He's funnier now, guys.
I mean, Venom was having some zingers in the
Venom's
in the first movie.
a pretty funny little alien, but now we're just showing it in the trailer that he's
like a vaudeville.
He's cooking breakfast. He's saying hello in Chinese to the nice little lady who owns the shop. He's threatening her for chocolate.
And then
he says he's gonna eat her.
He sounds like Shrek or wait,
Schwarzenegger.
But he's like, I gotta take a mean crap, Venom.
Oh my god! So
he is Venom.
Yeah. So we have this re-reveal now of Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy / Carnage, minus the fucking Ronald McDonald
carrot top.
Yeah.
How do we feel about him in this and that look?
I will say at least they got rid of the fucking hair because
he seems like he's taking notes from like Christoph Waltz in like Spectre and other like mediocre Christoph Waltz villain performances.
He seems like he's taking notes from himself in Natural Born Killers.
Maybe.
Like,
I haven't seen Natural Born Killers.
I had to watch it for the show kind of early on.
Also probably why they cast him.
Also, yeah. And look, I don't think it's terrible casting. Like, whatever. I can see it. I'm not that precious about it.
Yeah.
I think we could have done better, but fine. We have a Carnage who has big Ronald McDonald hair and like believes that 5G was the reason we had to stay inside and it wasn't COVID. Those are the things we know about this version of Carnage, and that's fine, and I can accept that.
Wait, is that a thing Woody Harrelson?
That's a thing
actually...
Woody Harrelson believed.
Oh,
he was like reposting that shit. It was pretty insane. Whatever, but. I like Carnage. I relish the thought of a Carnage versus Venom movie, which is why I can't believe how ambivalent I am. Because I should be a really easy sell on this. This looks like dog shit. This looks really fucking
Carnage
bad.
just looks like Scream again, but like painted red.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Scream.
Riot was the villain of
They all have the stupidest fucking name. There should only be one symbiote, maybe two max. There shouldn't have been more after Carnage.
Right, you're probably thinking of Shriek, which is the yellow one.
No, Scream is the yellow one. Shriek is his girlfriend, who is not who you're thinking of.
Oh.
Shriek is like a killer Black Canary kind of character from
really
the Maximum Carnage.
Character?
Scream was in the first movie, but she died. It was just like a woman, like they wrote her off. Yeah.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Was it? She was one of the fucking. Yeah, there was
some lady they tested on or something,
Do we
and
think
like she's the.
Michelle Williams gets a symbiote.
I mean, for all a brief 5 seconds,
she even
did
in this.
Apparently she was in like.
I think so. She was in the trailer.
Yeah,
well, and you know what I bet? I bet Carnage is gonna kill her in like the first 10 minutes.
Great.
That would have been a thing to happen in like the first movie.
That'd have been a great way to end the first movie. I mean, anything is better than that end sequence, that fucking
what we said about the
teaser.
ending climax fight of the first Venom is that like it's just a bunch of gleep gloppities like punching each other, and they have no physical structure. And I'm like, what is gonna be different about when he fights Carnage? Like, it's gonna look exactly like that.
And yeah, that's the reason Venom can't really have his own shit, because he has no actual villains or anything other than just other symbiotes.
Other colored versions of himself.
Yeah. Cody's asking in the chat if this will be rated R. I actually don't know. Was the first one rated R?
I think they said this isn't going to be rated R.
I thought the first
more
one
inclined to
was.
believe that,
Let me.
yeah.
I'll do a little quick research.
The first one was, but I think a lot of people were also up in arms because this one's going to be PG-13 and like it has Carnage, and it's like,
yeah, that's a big bummer. Of all the ones that could be.
No, the first one was
rated R.
PG-13.
Oh. So I guess they'll probably just keep it going.
I could have swore they said fuck in that first movie a couple of times.
You're allowed to 2 times. 2 times is
two
as
times
many as you
now.
get.
I thought it was just one.
I know
maybe I'm wrong.
I
You
think
know how many times you can say fuck in a PG-13 movie?
What's your
Put it in the
favorite
chat.
PG-13 fuck? And why isn't it sorry my Prada's at the cleaners along with my hoodie and my fuck you flip-flops, you pretentious douchebag from The Social Network?
Wow, the fact that you can rattle off that line.
That was
is
it's the greatest line delivery by one great Andrew Garfield.
It was a really great movie, and that was a great career that went down the toilet, which is unfortunate.
You can see mainstream in no theaters.
Yeah, but I'm
right
guessing,
now.
yeah, you're not gonna.
Yeah.
It could be playing in your living room right now. I don't think you're gonna get up and go see it.
Jason actually said he might rent that tonight.
Really? It's
Yeah.
on my Plex. Oh no, it's not. It's not. It never will be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't need to watch that. But no, I mean, what's my favorite PG-13 fuck? I think maybe they say it in one of the newer James Bond movies.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't.
PG-13 fucks are
memorize
not
them.
something I pay attention to. It's like you hear it once and you're like, oh, that's a naughty thing that parents are
Yeah.
going to have to explain to their kids. Okay, moving on.
It's usually I mean the only reason I brought up that is because I wanted to spout off that Social Network.
Yeah.
The only other ones that I could even rattle off the top of my head are like, I don't know, anytime Wolverine says it in one of the X-Men movies.
Yeah, well,
and then
Jordan
he
in the
finally
chat,
gets to let loose in Logan.
Jordan in the chat says, "Go fuck yourself" in X-Men First Class, which was the Hugh Jackman cameo.
There we go.
That like really got turned against him in Days of Future Past, I think it was.
Even though he said McAvoy says "fuck off" to him in Days of Future Past. I'm
Yeah.
like, you got the line wrong, dude.
Yeah, I mean, but he got the spirit of it. I am gonna watch Venom 2. I know I am. It's gonna happen.
Oh, I know we are. Like, we're gonna,
We'll
of
do
course.
an episode. We'll rag on it. I really thought I would be excited. I thought I would feel something, and I felt nothing. Like
From
I
the-
used to rent the Venom saga from the '90s series like every week at Blockbuster. Like I wore that shit out.
That 90s series was
Love
the
Venom.
shit.
It
that was a good show.
And I own the first appearance of Venom, and I own the first appearance of Carnage. Like I should be like really into this, but fucking it looks like just
So lame.
circa 2006 ugly ass CGI bullshit, and it's so depressing. And like I don't understand why people have such a why these studios have such a hard time making these movies. Like I everyone but Marvel seems to have like an immense amount of difficulty of like launching a franchise in any way based on a superhero. I mean, WB didn't do it. Fucking Sony has never gotten the Spider-Verse thing off the ground that they've been talking about for like 15 years.
Well, Sony has mostly given in and just been like, okay, Marvel will work with you. I think
but that's in,
WB's
like the last
really...
like 5 years. Like they were doing the Sinister Six, and then once Holland moved into the MCU, they were like, oh, we're gonna do a whole like Sony specific Spider-Verse about the villains, and like none of those movies have gotten made.
Yeah, but I'm fine with
Of
that. You can
course.
only make so much about Spider-Man. Warner Brothers just has no excuse, but that's
Warner
They
Brothers.
keep
That's a
changing.
different-
They
that's
keep
a
changing
different-
course every other movie. where
I
it's like-
don't know how they're not more embarrassed by it. Is
Because they
the
keep
thing.
making money
think
from
they're
it. Why
pretty
should they care?
embarrassed.
I mean, because like they constantly have their asses out. I mean, like yes, they're still making money, but like these are relatively vain people. I'm assuming. Like I why would you want to be like this much of a laughing stock in the community in which you work?
I mean, yeah, I
Like-
think Warner. There had been a story recently that like one of the heads of Warner Brothers tried to leave and make a deal for himself at Netflix, and Netflix was like, no, we're not gonna work with you.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
They've shown time and time again, like from like just a leadership perspective, like from like just like the essentials of doing their job, they're fucking bad at it. It's I don't know. It's got to be just more white people failing up, and I know Hamada is a Asian American man. Fine, I understand that, and I'm glad that they're introducing new voices. But like, we need to. I just stick to a plan. Just stick to a plan.
It is still just the studio that feels kind of run by dinglings as far as DC goes.
And also stop abusing the people that fucking work for you. Like the shit that happened with Ray Fisher and Gal Gadot and Joss Whedon. Like all of this was enabled by them.
That was largely just a hiring Joss Whedon thing.
Largely, but then it turned into them going to the higher ups at WB and then being told to fuck off. Essentially, like they willfully ignored it all. Oh my god, I'm on a fucking soapbox.
Yeah, we're not even talking about DC. We're talking about the studio coming to bring you Morbius.
Yeah, that movie's still. Where is that on the horizon? Is that even coming out?
It comes out in October.
So post Venom too.
Yeah, and wouldn't you want them to connect in some way? It doesn't seem like they're going.
I mean,
to.
Daily Bugle and Spider-Man, they say things in that. You know what? I'm sure once we get freaking Spider-Man 3 in December, fall is going to be all Spider-Man shit. Once we get the third Spider-Man multiverse movie in December, we'll have at least maybe a clearer idea of what their hopes and goals are, but I doubt it. But
yeah, wow. I'm just thinking about like how burnt out of how oversaturated with Spider-Man stuff that there's going to be in the last 4 months of this year.
I have a feeling you're not going to be able to recognize a lot of it as Spider-Man stuff, so it might not be so unbearable. But guys, that's going to wrap us up for this episode of Random Movie Roulette. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Please join us again in 2 weeks when we're going to be talking about The Raven.
Quote The Raven, nevermore.
Nevermore.
Of course. Oh, and we're going to have to, of course, watch that Simpsons episode as a preface.
I'm sure that's going to be like what the clip is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yes, Cody's pointing out, visit rmroulette.com. Do a lot of great work over there. Go read those blogs if you have not yet. Also, where can everyone find you, boys?
I am Jack on 35mm on Instagram and Jack Patterson on Letterboxd.
Just quit with the Twitter. Like it. I like it. I am RMR Cyborg Mike on Twitter and Instagram, and now I am on TikTok at Plankton's Army, where I will do plankton voices. I'll say things in plankton voices.
His first video got 600 views, and we're scared.
Oh my god.
Plankton's Army is gonna take over the world.
This is the problem.
Do you have a name for your fans already? Is that what you just? Is that what you just did? Plankton's Army? Is that the name of your fans? Did you name your fucking fans? Oh my god!
It's a reference to the famous episode of SpongeBob, Plankton's Army, where he recruits his whole family to take over the Krusty Krab.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what does he call his family members again, or whatever the slaves he makes with the chum bucket helmets.
All right. Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at Louis J. Otero, on Instagram at RMRouletteLouis. You can find us all on Twitter at RMRoulette. You can keep up to date with what's going on the show. All news really does go through our Twitter. So again, at RMRoulette on Twitter. Go follow us there. You'll also get notifications for when we go live on Twitter, on Facebook, sometimes on Instagram, on the one I just gave before, and always on twitch.tv/RMRoulette, as well as our YouTube channel where we upload the edited versions of these, and we also have audio versions available on all podcasting services. If you want to support the show, help us keep it going, really pay the hosting fees and to replace some equipment here and there, you can go to patreon.com/RMRoulette. It is a big help. We so love everyone who decides to spend their money with it. Like that's crazy and awesome and generous, and we appreciate you all. And we do offer some bonus content. We have a immediate revival of TV Boys that me and Jack recorded about Invincible and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier up there. We've got commentary tracks coming for all of the movies that we're watching on the main episode. So a Digimon the movie commentary, which is a fucking blast, will be uploaded this week. So check that out, patreon.com/armroulette. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. Come back in 2 weeks for The Raven. We can't wait to see you then. Good night.